My name is Albert. I'm with Tiny Bob Vinyl, and behind me I have a 2023 Hyundai Elantra, and the car's already fully wrapped. The only thing that I have left is this trunk. I'm going to show you guys how to wrap this trunk. And the main focus that I want to do is elevated objects on a car surface. So what I mean by that is things like this. So you see how this is popping up off the trunk? I tried everything to try to take it off. I could not take it off. Down under here, there's no way to like access the bolts. I was able to take off the middle bolt for the actual wing itself. There was just no way I could do that. How would you wrap around this? You know, it's sticking up off the wrap, you know. How are you gonna be able to get around that? So I'm gonna show you guys, and then also and how to stretch across this whole bumper. So roll of 3 inches out, come down to here, 3 inches down. So I'll cut it at 29 just to be safe. 5 feet, this is over 5 feet. So we'll go 70 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut that first. So my whole area is clay barred. It is degreased and cleaned with rubbing alcohol. What I want to do is I want to just go ahead and just set it down. I don't think this is metal. It is not. So I'll go ahead and tack a point on this side. And I left it a little bit longer so I can have, you know, somewhere to tack this down. All right. Lay my piece of vinyl over it. And I'm like, all right, where am I gonna start? So I have a point here and I have a point here. I need to stretch across this way quite a bit to be able to wrap around this so I don't have any tension on the bottom to where it peels up. So first thing I wanna do is I wanna jump right into it. And I wanna remove backing and then go back to tack it. Usually I'll cut like around here, like around where I'm gonna be tucking, but for this particular trunk I'm not, because of the elevated surface or the elevated objects that I want to make sure I get my stretch first, because if I do need to stretch more, I don't want to come out from there. I'm just gonna go ahead and heat it. All right, now that I got it done, I want to pull away and then towards me. Just pull right. It's just like that. So you see I hooked that point right there. All right, guys, so now that I have this stretched out, I don't want to do anything else till I stretch the other side out. But I will heat this right here just to make this little crease go away. And I'll make a temporary hinge. And the temporary hinge is you just push down in the area where you want to start the other side. So this side, I think I could get away with this here, or maybe actually I'll pull it a little bit more because I don't want to have wrinkles running down. I want to run it this way a little bit. So I'll just start right there. I'll keep this whole piece area right here. Then I'll heat the bottom because I want the bottom to get a good stretch. And then I'll pull out and towards me. And you really want a good stretch. All right, and then I'll just temporary hinge this right here. Just like that. And you can see I'm nice and tight over this area here, so I'll go ahead. Then I'll do the other side. And then I'll just, same thing. Make sure I give it a good heat. Soften it up. Then I'm going to give it a good stretch. And then when I stretch, I want to stretch over that elevated area and then drop it so I don't rip the vinyl or discolor it. I want to get over where I want to get to. And then pull it just like that all the way through and then drop it. Just like that. Take these wrinkles out here by lifting, and I give it a little bit of a pull. And now we get elevated. I want to cut the holes out first before I do anything. So I'll heat it, I'll heat around it too. Anytime you do something, you want to make sure you look before. So no, I know if I cut this, it'll drop, and I have about a 1/2 inch on each side. So I'll just cut right here. Remember, you want to cut round so it doesn't keep tearing. Just like that. Then it drops. Before I do anything, because if I start squeegeing out, it's gonna make wrinkles because the tension messed up the film. So I want to heat it first. Just like that. I'll let it cool down for a little bit. Just like that. Heat it, and that's it. That's how you get around the elevated areas. So now I'll do the same thing on this side. So I want to make sure just cut around. That. I'll just heat around my area. That's how you get around that. It's pretty simple. So now I want to continue. You guys can see that I have all this tension. It doesn't look too great. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it now that I have this tacked down, you know, because I don't want to lift it up again, then pull that off, because then I just won't be able to do anything about it because there's already a hole. So I want to make sure that that piece is tacked down because I don't want that to pull anymore. And then I just heat. And just remember, when you're stretching, you always want to remember where your corners are. It's very important because you want to hook those corners. It's very important you hook those corners. So I have a corner back here and back here. That's where I want to pull towards. So I'm pulling towards this way. I don't know if you can see, this way towards that corner, and then I'm pulling this way towards this corner. Then I can reposition myself. You can reposition yourself. And I want to get a better pull on this back here because of this just very aggressive little hatch right here. So then I just pull it towards that corner, just like that. You see how it's shaped? And it's because I pulled towards that corner. Just like that. So now that's very good. Here, I can just make a temporary hinge, just push it down so it won't lift up. Same thing. I'll pull towards my corner. Just like that. My corner's up here. Like that. So now I go back and I look at, you know, kind of what I did. And I'll cut a little bit of a relief. So I want to come back and see how this looks. So I'll give it some heat. And then here I want to just kind of give it a little bit of tension while I heat. And then I don't have any corners here, so I'll just push straight down. There is like a little indent here. I want to make sure that I lay it in there, so I don't want it to bubble. And then just pull the rest of it. And then just kind of pull down, pick a tack, and then pull down here. And then you could always use the same body line and just tack it somewhere, and then you can heat it again, and it just relaxes the film, just like that. Here, I just want to give it a little bit more heat. So now that I repositioned, you can see that I have a little bit of buildup here. So it's okay, don't panic. I can just lift it back up and then just heat. Same thing. Pull towards my corner. Just like that. And come back, I want to fix the areas that I want to fix. And then do the deepest recess first. And then to my hook. And then after, I want to cut right where my tape is, just to start kind of relaxing the tension on the film. Same thing here. Just want to get a little bit of heat just to relax the film. Like that. Not too worried about in here too much, because that piece, the lip does sit outside of it like about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. So not too worried about like fully tucking here. I want to do the exact same thing here. Just heat. And then I want to lift. Alright, now I want to heat this bottom piece down here, because I do want to pull this way so it wraps around the bottom and I don't have too much tension. So I'll just go ahead and heat all this bottom and the top, and then I'll pull towards, pull like that, a real good pull. That. Focused on this area. Now I can come back to this area because I have my corner here, and you see these wrinkles that are coming here. I'll pull them towards this way. So I focus down here first. Here I just want to heat everything to make sure it relaxes. See how it's already kind of glassed out? Just like that. So now I can kind of cut this down here just to give it a little bit more shape. I want to come back up here just because I want to pull all this tension away. Just like that. And it's okay to reposition it, because a lot of the times you can't really get in there. So I'll get there, heat it, pull a little bit more, and then reposition myself. then heat it, pull it a little bit more, and just pull it right towards my corner. And that's perfect. See how it's grabbing this edge? That's what you want. And then now I just want to lift it and let the vinyl shrink. That's why when you pull well with the body lines, see, that just wrapped right around where I needed it to wrap around. That's the key thing when you're wrapping anything, especially something aggressive like this. It's a weird trunk. You kind of just pull with the body lines. And with the body lines, it's like if this body line is like a saucer this way, I want to pull this way with it. I don't want to pull down because it's not going to wrap around it. Now I know this will never lift up because I laid into it and it wraps around the edge. So I don't ever have to worry about that wrap lifting up. Just like that. Now this up here, this would scare somebody that just started because you're like, oh man, I just did all this. Now I have all this extra material here. Well, you just want to kind of shape it. And you just want to come up to like where you have all the wrinkles. So I'll put tension on it and I'll pop it up. And then I'll just put heat. And like I said, as long as I pull towards my corner, as long as I pull towards my corner, it'll all be okay. Just like that. Then heat to relax the film. And if you don't like it the first time, you could always come back and redo it after you kind of get it laid out. Just like that. I want to heat it. Relax the film. And as long as I pull towards my corner, there shouldn't be any peel back. Just like that. And then here, I kind of let the film, there's extra film, I let that be just because there's a deep recess area right here. And it just kind of all worked out. Heat, just massage it down. You just want to start shaping it. That way you can see if there's too much tension, if you have to pull back, but little by little because you don't want to lose the wrap and then be short. All right, here, last piece. I want to make an extra hook. Right there. And I just keep stretching, pulling, and just relaxing the film. And it's all done. That's why I wasn't too worried about these wrinkles here, because the trunk stopped down here, so you always have to make sure you see where you're at. Here, this elevated piece here. There's about a 1/4 inch lip all the way around, so I'll give it about a 1/4 inch. Then I'll heat to relax the film. And like I said, this is me over wrapping, because when the spoiler sits here, it actually sits a 1/4 inch outside that lip, so you won't even see any of this. But all right guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and move over to the other side. And like I said, there's about a 1/4 inch lip all the way around, and these are things that you need to pay attention to before you just start wrapping. So, and like I've said over and over, this is overkill, but this is just how I like to do things, so I don't know. The spoiler does sit a 1/4 inch out, so you won't ever see any of this. But just so I tickle my fancy, and then I'll split this. This is a sharp area right here, so I'll just split it right down the middle, and then split. And like I said, this is all just over wrapping it. That's it. All right guys, so my name's Albert. I'm a Tiny Bot Vinyl, and I hope this video was helpful. This is how you would wrap around any elevated areas. So for the most part being, if there's something elevated like that, you can use the same technique. If it's part of the door handle, or if it's a fender, or if it's something that's flaring up and you can't take off. Sometimes there's rivets, bolts and stuff that you have to wrap around. You just wrap over it and then cut around it, heat it, shrink it, and it goes around the same thing. These are a little bit aggressive, but this is a perfect example. So my name's Albert. I'm a Tiny Bot Vinyl. Peace.